Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let me go first.
Is the machine on?
Don't have too much for you, but I would tell you that next Monday night in this room at 7 o'clock, we're going to have the county's deed sales to the properties county acquired. You're all welcome to come, but Brenda and Ray, I definitely need you two here. You as president of the commissioners, you as the official secretary, because you'll have to sign the deeds. I'll be bringing my Bible with me and everything. So that's next Monday night at 7. And then looking through some of my old records, we've made some reference to the employee handbook. And here's some notes I've had from one where the previous board and I had met 1 or 2 times trying to work on some language and some things. And I think what I ought to do is have a copy of this made and hand out to all of you to look over, because there's probably going to be some things we want to change. There's probably some things that I don't know about with regard to like the highway department and everything. So I forget who the county paid one of the Indianapolis law firms $6,000 or $8,000 back years ago. And I never got it fine-tuned to what all we wanted to do. So I'll make copies and give those to you at the next meeting to start reading over and taking a look at. So that's really all I have for you.
Okay, John, we've been discussing before the meeting. They're rerouting the gas line around Bear Run Line, and there is no additional bonds that were asked for to cover that construction. They're already in the business of rerouting it. What do we do now? Live with it, or can we ask for bonds on those roads?
Does it involve roads that they haven't closed?
Yeah, it actually, Bear Run's having to move the line, but it's another company it's Texas Gas that's rerouting the gas line.
And are they crossing other county roads that were not closed?
Well, the way that Bear Run had intended for them to operate was to work off of their haul roads and do their business that way. That was to be their access. But they, as I understand from Bear Run, the gas company or the contractor or whoever came to the commissioners last year and asked that they be able to utilize the county roads.
Did they? I don't remember. I have no idea. Did they come to a meeting last year?
Yes.
And asked to run it a different direction?
Yes.
Did we require anything of it?
We didn't require any additional bond, apparently.
Probably can't do anything, really.
We can ask them
We could
to.
ask them
Doesn't mean
for
they're gonna do
road
it.
crossings, and, are they gonna be tearing up roads, or
Well, they already have. Well, apparently.
not boring underneath?
No.
But they will be boring, but they're traveling now. Ms. Jackson?
They are running parallel to a mine haul road on the east side. They are stopped at County Road 750 South. They haven't torn it up anymore to what they have already torn it up. Their attorney, Ed Powell, has already made the comment that they will take 750 South. Now, when they will take it is up to you three, when you give them permission to take it.
You mean to close it? Is that what you're referencing?
Yes, when they will close it. Right now, they have stopped their construction at 750 South. They haven't torn up 750 South anymore. But their pipeline, I'll put it that way, is laid out parallel to their haul road. And it stopped right at 750 South. And if that's why they are not doing any more, because the mine does not have 750 South closed. Or if they plan to, you know, you just can't, what are you gonna do? Go up and over, or are you gonna go?
I think they've already got permission from the commissioners last year to do 13 road bores, as I understand it.
To do what?
13 road bores. They don't actually cut the road, they just poke the pipe underneath the ground. So,
Road crossings, yeah.
But I don't think that they requested to drive on the county roads and use them as a.
No, they didn't.
That's a very busy road. I know last year's commissioners didn't realize that, and the commissioners before that, they seemed to think that that's just a road down there in the middle of nowhere.
But the mine always requests all their vendors to use.
They do. They do.
I mean, I think that'd be their.
but it's my understanding, I called Chris Miller and talked to him, and he said that somehow or another they had gotten permission from the commissioners to use county roads. And they had originally asked them to stay on the mine access road.
I sure don't remember that.
No, I don't either.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
That's
this
big
All
anxiety.
Greek to me.
It says in the minutes they came in and they was given granted permission to bore under 13 county roads. It didn't mention how they was gonna
Which
get there to
ones?
bore or any of that. Now, maybe it did in the contract that they came in here and we signed off on, but that's what it said, to
Did we
permission
have
to
a
bore.
contract with them?
Well, they had it all laid out, they had a map. And it was approved.
Seemed like there was a ton of stuff to sign.
Mhm.
Do they post a blanket bond in Texas?
I think they
Gas?
do. And that's why I had her look up.
Have to look for it. I'm still
Have you
looking
found-
for it.
okay. If
The
they
blanket
got-
bonds were all posted a long time ago.
Well, I know they used to be, I didn't know if they.
Do you
kept
know
one
about what
current or
year?
not. But,
They just come back in and renew them,
Just
you know.
renew them.
They're supposed to.
Yeah, but do you know which roads? Do you have the roads listed in there?
Yeah, it is. You have a copy of it, Brenda.
If there's a blanket bond in effect, there's probably nothing further we can do. If there's not a blanket bond, then we need to treat them like we treat anyone else that bores under the road. I mean, Shelburne Water did that. I don't know if they requested anything of them or not.
They have a blanket bond.
Do they have a blanket bond too? Okay.
All the local utilities did. At one time, they all did.
Brenda has looked, but she just hasn't found their blanket bonds. She was.
I still got a bunch to go through yet. I couldn't tell if they had just been filed year by year, or if they were just
They'll
put
probably
in
do
the
like a
cabinet.
5-year, 6-year, maybe a 10-year, and then they renew them, Brenda.
Okay, so I can go
I would
back.
say if they have a blanket bond, there's nothing we can do. If they don't have a blanket bond, we could call and remind them they need to post it because they haven't posted it in recent years.
It'd probably be filed with them mine deals, wouldn't it?
Well, it
Not
just should be with the
necessarily.
bonds.
Should be utility bonds.
It wouldn't be with the mine thing, it would be just, you know, for them to do business in Sullivan County.
Well, after you've done looking, let me know.
Okay.
You gonna call Chris tomorrow?
Yeah.
See what he did.
We need to contact the gas company as well and see if they think they've got one in place. And Jane's got the numbers of the contractor.
Okay.
Benji?
You want to do the greater bids now?
It's on.
Okay, I've got 3 different bids. First one's from Rudd Equipment, and it's a Volvo grader. And the yearly price, 1, 2, and 3 are $23,000 even. Anybody here from Red? I got 2 different envelopes here. It's the same one, right?
No, 2 different machines.
2 different machines. Okay, I'll open it.
Two different sizes, two different.
2 different sizes.
Okay, the second one is the year 1, 2, and 3. All 3 are 21,000. That particular one, the Volvo G940B. The first one was a Volvo G960B. Yes, G960B.
While we're on the machine, if you don't care, explain the difference between the two. And
G940, G960 are basically the same frame. The 960 is carrying 3,000 pounds more weight, approximately. Increase in horsepower, and that's about it. There's a weight and horsepower between the 2. So it's one's a little over the spec, one weight, one's a little under. So we bid both, so you can see both.
Okay, the next bid is from West Side Tractor Sales. It's a John Deere grader. Year 1, 2, and 3, all at $35,992.20. $35,992.20. Years 1, 2, and 3. And that is a John Deere model 770 GP. And the fourth bid is from McAllister Machinery. It's a Caterpillar. Year 1, 23,800. Years 2 and 3, 24,950. And that is a Caterpillar 140 M2.
Show me what year 1 was again, please.
Year 1, 23,800. Years 2 and 3, $24,950. You want to look at these further and look at them with Tom, or how you want to handle this, or?
yeah. I'll make a motion to table then, Marvin, until you have a chance to go over.
I'll second that.
Okay. That's all I've got.
Did anybody else want to comment on their graders? I asked Rudd if they wanted to. Brenda?
Okay, I have several bonds to be signed. Tom Leahy is the first one.
Okay. Make a motion to approve the bonds.
Have a
The
motion to have-
airport,
Second.
Ron Walker. Steve Hinsley. Mary Ann Dudley. Debbie Byer. Harry Allenball. Brian Kennett. Robert Hunley. Vicky Tappas. Connie Holland. This is Nancy Hunt. Now, those I have to keep separate, that start right there.
Okay.
Bob McCammon. Deanne Kelly. Bill Springer. Twyla Ushry. Eric Murray. Dan Purtle. Bob McCammon.
You have two on Bob McCammon.
There's
Yeah.
two Bob McCammons now.
Yes.
Redevelopment and airport.
Yeah. Dwayne Wampler. Gene Shacklet. Tony Bennett. Amy Brooks. Marvin Harris. Richard Walters. James Strickland. Ray McCammon. Luke Meisner. Brian Pound. Stephen Michael Robbins Jr. and Thomas Smith.
All your time.
Yeah. Okay, that's all I have. Oh, this has to be signed. Shelley's Tippecanoe School
While we're doing this claim,
training.
while we're doing these claims, we have that other one too, that we could. This is on the file of motions for, to end the lawsuit. The attorney represented us the second half of the lawsuit on a contingency basis, and in the event we would drop it, we owed him his legal fees. I make a motion, we have him file for a motion to dismiss the, seeking the legal fees against the plaintiffs in the case. And also pay these two claims.
Marvin, I will have to abstain from that because I was a party to the,
I'm not clear which lawsuit. Oh,
on the redistricting.
On the redistricting lawsuit.
can we table that till next month, till I have a chance to?
Well, we can table it, but we have a court date between now and next month. So, sometime in March, I don't know the specific day. We need to go ahead and file for the dismissal for sure, if you don't want it to proceed.
I'm not familiar.
I mean, we can ask him to, like, request a continuance, but then we're gonna incur more fees.
Well, explain it to me a little bit.
Well, what happened when the redistricting happened, we had the plaintiffs file a lawsuit. Okay, we paid the first round of legal bills. The attorney, he said that we could go after his legal fees and we would more than likely receive them. So he said, I'm willing to represent you guys on a contingency basis to obtain these legal fees back. But I think we're beating a dead horse. The redistricting has stood up in court, and we shouldn't go after these people for the money.
Go after the plaintiff you're talking
Right.
about.
So basically, we're on the hook for the legal fees we incurred between then and now. And then $4,900, $4,920 to be exact.
So the county would be paying the $4,900 rather than the plaintiffs?
Well, the plaintiffs would be not only liable for the $4,900, they would potentially be liable for the previous $45,000 or whatever, like $30,000. But also your mileage and stuff. So it amounted more closer to $45,000.
So this would release the plaintiffs from the $45,000
And this, so it would get them out of about $50,000. I mean, otherwise it'd just be, we need to, at the very least, pay the attorney and file the motion to dismiss the case.
Do you have an opinion on that, John?
Yeah, I do, but I've refrained from giving my opinion on this, because we had two commissioners doing one way and one the other way, so I stayed out of it entirely. I do think it needs to be brought to a conclusion. This is the quickest and easiest way to do it. Ray can't vote on it because he was a named plaintiff in the action. So right now, with Luke making a motion, that's one vote. It's gonna have to be you or no
But
vote.
we need to, I'll tell you, you've never been part of a commission that doesn't function properly, and we have an opportunity right now to make amends and actually do the business of the people and stop this political banner. We just need to bite the bullet and settle it.
The county council's already paid the fees from the first portion of it. So there's nothing outstanding except just this small contingency arrangement from post proceedings.
I mean, you can inspect the bill.
So in other words, the county is agreeing to pay the,
We're on the hook for the legal bill regardless. It's just a claim. We just need to, we need to make a motion to dismiss the motion. We're on the hook for that, whether you make the motion or not to approve the claim. We just need to dismiss the case.
and this will,
And then they will no longer seek reimbursement any of the judgment from any of the named plaintiffs. So,
I second
it needs to be done.
Okay, that's it.
You want us to sign this claim form?
Yeah, you guys just sign it, yeah, and then I'll fill it out for you.
What was the second claim for?
For a trip to Lafayette.
Shelley went to school. Education
Recorder
thing.
school.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be going on the 5th, so I'll be coming, I'll find out how much it's gonna be and I'll come after and check, take out
Okay.
like I did last couple of years.
Yeah.
Right.
I think I only have to stay one night this time.
No,
Okay.
it needed to be done.
Did the minutes get approved?
Oh, no, I didn't bring it.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes of the last meeting, as they were posted and read, and, you know, what.
Do you need a signed copy of the minutes? Do you need the minutes signed?
Yeah. Have you got it? Yeah, you can sign that.
Yes, hang on.
Did Martin second that?
No, I think he's asleep over there.
Motion for the minutes. to get-
Oh, I second that.
What about that second step, we gotta take out the council, the joint session, one, did you get that? We have that one, that's a joint session with you.
Where you met with the
You guys
council.
agreed to make, for the plan and everything. We have the minutes for that as well.
Oh, so I make a motion, we approve the minutes of the joint meeting.
Since we got both of them.
Did you make both motions?
Brenda, we can sign those after the meeting. if you
Okay,
like.
all right. Yeah, I'll get 'em.
Have you got our health insurance?
Yes.
How many of those did we have?
Let's see. Did we get them? Well, I guess I might go there anyway. I thought I had them.
Well, health insurance is gonna be on hold for a minute. Ringer Consulting. Mid-American Elevator. And also have AMCO Elevator, anyone here?
What I've got for you is a proposal for the elevator maintenance that we talked about at the last meeting. There's 2 copies of it. What I've done is quoted it similar to the contract you have now. I went as close as I could so it'd be more apples to apples. It's full maintenance contract for the elevator, and I also included the wheelchair lift. Some of the things that are,
But that's no components, that's just maintenance.
no, that's components. This is components and repairs. That's what you have right now on the main elevator, is what's known as a full maintenance contract. It covers your labor for repairs of the unit and parts during normal working hours, as long as it's wear and tear, not abuse or vandalism. What you're gonna find on my contract and everybody else's is they're gonna exclude obsolescence if the parts aren't available. That's one reason why I did go ahead and include the wheelchair lift. It actually, the manufacturer of it is no longer in business. However, a lot of the parts, relays, micro switches, that type of stuff are still available. So unless it got into something of the mechanical structure of it, it still is maintainable under this contract. My contract also includes the 5-year full load test on the elevator, which your current contract does not cover. And under the new codes, the wheelchair lift, since it has a braking system in it, it also has to, it's also required for a 5-year test, which means coming in and putting the maximum weight on it and setting the safeties and the safety devices to make sure it works properly. So I've included that in our maintenance agreement too. One of the things with our agreement that a lot of the other ones don't have, is a 30-day out clause. If you don't like what we're doing, you're not happy with our service, if you give us writing and give us 30 days to correct it, if we don't get it corrected, you're out. So you don't run the risk of having the contract continually roll over and roll over and roll over and be getting bad service. You do have a way out of that contract. As far as the contracts go with what, the reason I believe, I'm a mechanic, I'm not a lawyer, but the reason I believe that you're not obligated to the contract you have now is, if you just look at the first paragraph in it, the contract is saying that they will maintain the unit with employees of AMCO Elevator, trained by AMCO, and supervised by AMCO. AMCO doesn't exist in anything more than name now. The, excuse me, all the employees are now ThyssenKrupp employees. So, you know, that is one reason why I don't believe you're obligated to this. And also, in the last paragraph of the contract, it doesn't allow any modifications of this contract until you sign something with AMCO Elevators. So those are my reasons why I brought this to you to begin with. I'm the one that signed the contract originally with AMCO. I was an employee with AMCO for 24 years. I've lived and worked in this area since 1992 and on your elevator, with the exception of probably like maybe last 8 years. I lived in Brazil. We have a second man that lives over in Clay City. It would be myself or him doing the work, and you would be dealing with me instead of someone from Indianapolis in matters like this, or for modernizations, or just any other building problems. So that's what I'm proposing, and I don't know what your current price is now, but the price I used was $225 a month, and that covers both units. It includes the repairs, it includes the testing, the annual testing, and it includes the 5-year full load testing. I don't know if there's any questions I can answer for you, or.
Just the money, and if the components were covered, that's basically it. I think we ought to go with local people.
Okay.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
AMCO?
I'm glad you like local people, because we're local people too. AMCO Elevator's been an icon in Indiana since the mid-40s. Been in business over 65 years. First, I want to thank you guys for having us out tonight. I also want to thank you for the confidence you've instilled in AMCO since 1995. I think if someone's going to maintain your elevator for 17 years, there's got to be some level of satisfaction there. I hope that's true. Yes, we've been bought by a company called ThyssenKrupp. They're an international company. But your contract is backed by people, and all those people are local people. And the exciting thing about this whole change is the fact that all these local people have stayed with that company and will be managing your business and still be servicing your equipment. The other benefit of that is now we're a family-owned business, family-owned type service and relationship that we've had these past 17 years. We also have a national resource. ThyssenKrupp has a national training center in Dallas, Texas. They actually set up all manufacturers' elevators down there that can train our people. Ways around obsolete equipment to help solve some of those issues if they would come up. So we've been very excited to serve you for all these years. We certainly want to continue to serve you. Unfortunately, I don't have a bid tonight because I thought we would just come and discuss our companies. And I got looking, Mike's right. I don't believe the 5-year test was included. That was, when this was signed, a common thing. I'd be happy to put together some numbers that would include what he's proposed. I do disagree, however. I think AMCO does have the right to assign the contract. So I want you to be aware of that. We want to earn your business, and we want to keep your business. So we will strive to requote this apples to apples. But it is a valid contract that we're going to honor and take care of the equipment as we've been doing. So we want to continue to do that. A couple other notes. Luke is fairly local. He lives up in the Terre Haute area just as Mike does. He's your service mechanic. And we are very committed to workforce development. We have a lot of ongoing training. We have quality elevator inspectors on our staff. We have certified trainers on our staff. So these guys are always in tune to the latest technology. This is an older piece of equipment, but we also have means as it ages to do upgrades, modernizations. We kind of keep track of that type of stuff to make sure that you're getting the most value out of your, not only your service, but your equipment, and maximizing its life. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot to say. We do inspect it monthly. We schedule it monthly. A lot of the companies now are scheduling as well as quarterly when they cover the components to cut their costs, but we don't believe in that. And I don't believe Mid-America does either, but because we both operate under the same kind of philosophies. And the reason is, as Mike said, he was with it for 24 years. The founder of Mid-America actually started at AMCO, so we've kind of grown the Indiana business all over the state, and I'm proud of that. Do you have any specific questions for me about the existing contract?
What is your current cost?
No, I have no idea. I think it is a little over $300 a month. And probably because since it started in '95, there are annual escalations based on labor rates, and it's probably escalated some. So that probably should be adjusted. The Cheney wheelchair lift. Why do you think it needs a 5-year test?
Because it has a brake. It's code required to have a brake
Does
test.
it have
It
a
doesn't
governor?
have- Pardon me?
Does it have a governor?
No, it doesn't have to have a governor. It has, the requirement is because it has a brake.
And I know we're getting hammered by a couple other competitors saying they're not needed because there's no governor. And we've got questions into the state on interpretation, but it's not something that you want to pay for if it's not needed. I think it's in dispute at the state level.
I'm a QEI qualified,
I understand.
and my interpretation of the code is what the state says, and the state's requiring that test.
I agree. It should be tested. I don't know that it needs a load test, but we'll figure that out.
You see, if we started out with your company at $148, we're paying over $300 now. We've been with them for 17 years, so.
I'm going to entertain a motion to either table this and give AMCO an opportunity to resubmit, or whatever your wishes would be.
You have an escalator, price escalator with your agreement?
That particular one does. If you would like, I can write you a contract. I can hold that price for 2 years. It'd probably be $240 if I hold it for 3 years, and I can make the contract terminate without any automatic renewals. I bid that one
How
for the
much-
contract you're under.
What's the annual escalation?
Ours is 3%.
Is that this year or is that every year?
That's every year. The cost of that annual, or that 5-year load test is at least $1,500 to $2,000.
What's their escalation? Like 4 point something percent? 4%?
I'm sure it's varied over the last years. There was in mid-90s, labor rates were jumped up heavily for a while. I know we were a merit shop, but the IUEC was getting about 8%
Our
a year.
position to change business, so.
Obviously, you want to keep skilled workers, so you kind of compete with those wages.
I'll tell you what, I make a motion, we accept the proposal from Mid-America Elevator. We're gonna be saving about $900 a year.
I second that.
We'll review our agreement with you in a year.
That'll be fine.
Have your attorney review our agreement because it's a signed and it is a valid agreement. So,
Yeah, that's what I'm reading through now. One thing that jumps out at me is AMCO has the right to terminate it on 30 days' notice.
So we have the same right.
And we don't have any right?
you have a right to terminate the end of a term. That says we have a right if you would sell the building. So we would have a right to not accept basically a new owner. And I don't, just, we can have that discussion. If you think it's illegal, please send us a letter and we'll address it that way
Okay.
as best we can. I'm not here to play attorney either. But I know that Thyssen purchased the contract that was assigned to them, so.
Luke, we make that pending.
I don't want to,
Yeah.
before you would be involved in two contracts, just make sure this one is not.
When I said we ought to make that pending John's approval.
I mean, it's a 17-year-old contract, and if they get 30-day out, don't we have to get a 30-day out? You can't require something of your customer.
Plus, certain contracts, though, go on beyond the term of the election of the commissioners, which brings up another issue. But for example, if any part of our building are sold, they would have 30-day out with whoever the successor would be. But if their company sells, we don't have a 30-day out with the new company.
Well,
It seems a little unfair.
Yeah, it's unfair.
All right, I have a motion to second. All in favor? I vote against.
I'll take all this and read it carefully. I'll take all this.
One that's been good, when I left the convention date open, that we can put that in when you wanted to start, so I didn't know if you would want to start in March.
We'll have to wait until we get attorney approval.
We went through the same thing with Holman and Company, and Holman and Company's attorneys agreed with us and have signed our contract also, so that helped come.
Thank you.
However this works out, we appreciate your past business, and we hope to earn it again in the future. I don't have the right to make that decision if it's a legal contract or not, so drop us a letter and we'll get it addressed to the best of our ability. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Do we have insurance representatives?
I'm with Colonial Life.
I'll allow you.
That is what we're gonna have a wellness thing for the county employees at the insurance discussion.
I put together your Aflac bill there. I just took the first page. It's kind of the same thing on every page. So far in your bill, there's some things I can't quote because it depends on the employee, how much disability coverage you want, their salaries, that kind of information. We are less expensive 100% of the time, always. I did put everything else, and with the numbers you have now, you're saving at least $4,000 a year, just on what they're paying. So employee on the last employee, I kind of did a little, give an example on the bottom employee. She'll be saving $234.36 a year, which is almost 4 months of premiums the Aflac bill she's paying right now. She'll get better coverages with saving all that money, plus we will have added another $10,000 in coverage to our ICU plan, which will be covered for all major events that can happen. So there's really not too much of a comparison as far as rates and what you're getting. We are going to be a lot less expensive and a lot better coverage 100% of the time. On there also,
This is just for short-term disability?
everything, cancer plans, their accident plans, their specified event plans, ours is a COVID-only plan. With Aflac, you know, they pick, you know, what event they want to have and pay premium on that. Ours is all inclusive of everything, and they pick an amount between $5,000 and $75,000. A good example is one of my accounts, her husband had a heart attack, they were paid out $1,200. Our plan that she has now, for the same money she's paying every month, she's got $25,000 that pays out 3 times. So for $75,000, they keep it forever, same rate, it never changes. So they're getting just a lot better coverage. There really isn't any comparison to what we offer. So on here I put you're saving at least $4,000 a year, just with the numbers I was able to generate. This doesn't include the savings on all of the ones that I don't have the SAR information to give you. I'm not going to give you a guesstimate on them, but it's going to be a little bit off because I don't have their SAR information. But it will be less expensive. If you have some employees too that you know, maybe they want to keep an Aflac plan. Aflac plans are portable, just like ours are, so they're always welcome to keep their plans, pay from home, whatever they want to do. So no one's really stuck having to switch if you've got one or two people that don't want to. Usually, we don't have that problem. So if somebody maybe who has head cancer this year and they're going through treatments, obviously we're not going to say, oh yeah, cancel your cancer plan. You know, keep your cancer plan, finish your treatments out. There's some women that want to keep their cancer plan. Some of the other things that I put in there, just some added benefits. All of our own employees will get access to something called U-Bill. They'll have their own access to our website and their own accounts. A thing called U-Bill, it's kind of fun, it's interactive. They go on and Brenda, they would say Brenda Bill, you know, you go in and put your, you know, what you have, your asset kind of thing, your kids, your own home. They'll tell you, recommend the kind of coverages that you, or what you need to look for, give you information, that kind of thing. And then we also do free flu shots every year for all the employees. We'll come out and do that at no charge. Yes, we do a lot of free things. We have bonus programs.
So what you're proposing is a one fee for all the coverages. You're not selling the coverages individually?
No, we do have group plans for everything. We can change to group plans. That's fine too. We just have you guys would be fine if we did a group plan. But they are individual plans. They're owned by the employees. We basically would take what they have now, rewrite the policy under our company, and they would receive better coverage and they'd be paying about 40% less than they're paying now. So, and Colonial Life is near the original company that designed these plans almost 100 years ago. That's why ours are so much far above everyone else's. This is kind of our industry.
Okay, how is this going to affect our salary reduction agreements? Would you have to go in and redo all those, or would you just adjust the level of coverage to what they have deducted out of their check currently?
Yeah, we would just give you the new deduction amounts, and you would just deduct the new.
So,
yeah, and we can even set that up to use a payroll system. We can do it all electronic for you. And
so you don't adjust the coverage levels, you'll maintain the same coverage levels.
Right, we're going to
just
get
the premiums.
better coverages, and we're going to be paying a lot less. And a lot of times employees, with the amount of money they're saving, they'll add more coverage in because they're going to have all this extra money to spend, and they're going to have so much better coverage than they had before.
Because that all comes out of checks anyway. That's something that we opt in or out of.
Right. Yes. It's a huge savings. It's a huge savings. And we do this all the time. There hasn't been a Colonial office inside this area ever, so it's just kind of why but we do have a lot of huge accounts. Most of the counties are here are accounts that I have. But a lot of the smaller places just hasn't been a representative out here. So, but we're in Terre Haute on Ohio Boulevard. So we're very close. We have an office. If somebody needs to go to the office, we're right there.
Brenda, when is our insurance committee meeting?
Next the 20, yeah, next Wednesday. At 1:30.
Are you going to be able to make that meeting?
I'm sorry,
Wednesday at 1:30?
This Wednesday?
Next Wednesday.
1:30? Should be able to.
Also, this one I gave you this before. This is just, you kind of see where we rate when you guys have Aflac. Either they're not on here, or they're a very small percentage of any kind of satisfaction or awards. We are the best in the industry, so I just gave you this. These are just awards that come out every single year. We usually win the same awards every single year. That we have the best products, the best services, the best prices, best broker relationships. We're best prepared for the health reform things going on. And our enrollers, we have specialized roles. So when you have enrollers coming in, that's all they do is enroll. They know everything. They can go over their insurance plans with them, explain what they have to them so they understand where their risks are, how to save money on prescriptions, that kind of thing. Our enrollers will do individually.
On these premiums that you have not altered, are you higher?
No, we are always lower. 100% of the time, always lower. These are like life insurance. I do not know how much coverage Carrie opted for, so I can't give you an exact number, but it's probably going to be $17 and she's
So
paying $27.
you just compared
Yeah, when I keep
standard.
the ones I can give you accurate amounts for, I put those down. I can give you a ballpark figure for the other employees, but I don't know how much coverage she has. So it could be $8, it could be $17. I don't want to do too much of a.
My question is, are you selling individual or are you selling a group?
No, this is like on the cancer plan.
Yes, but that's a plan that I buy
Right.
myself. So why would you be taking care of my policy for me?
Because there's one company that we utilize.
No,
No, you still pick your plan.
everyone picks their own plan.
Right. Right. They still.
So
It
what?
gives us an opportunity to serve.
But I mean, why would you be picking my plan? I pick my own plan, and I pay that. Now, life, you pick for me. But this, I pick myself.
Yeah,
But in order for her to be able to address your needs, she has to come to us to see if she
But
can
she's
look at our
wanting-
information.
But she's wanting you to decide for me.
No, they would give me the opportunity to come in and speak with you individually
Just asking for
and compare what you have to what you can get with us, and you decide to switch. And if you choose to keep an Aflac plan, you're able to keep your Aflac plan, because they're also portable.
Okay, I thought she was selling it to you.
No, this is just the process to go through to get,
So
to
like
approve us
on
to
this right here where you have all this, which that's.
So we'll still use these other vendors.
How much am I saving there?
Right.
You're
You pick
saving, you're
anyone you
saving
want.
$234
They're just
a year.
asking the commission to
That's
come
about
in
4
and
months of free
contact.
premiums, basically, what they would make.
Well, then why she
And
gonna?
you're gonna have about $10,000 more in coverage.
Okay.
This is for permission.
Wow.
I guess we'll give you permission to bid these plans to our employees.
Okay.
Do you know what our Aflac said? Because it all comes up at the same time.
Yeah, I thought you guys started enrolling next month.
Is it?
Everyone has their own on that. It's
I
not all.
understand that, but we all renew it. at
Right,
the
you have a
same time,
plan
don't
year,
we?
so you have to renew the same time
Yeah,
every
we
year.
have a plan year.
I don't.
Well, you may have not been serviced every year or something, but they should be out every single year.
They was in
Well, a lot of
last
people
week.
have American Family and different things like that.
Right. But all insurance, if you're pre-tax and benefits, you have a plan year. So you have a certain time of the year you have to enroll, or it's against the
They'll
IRS
come around and see if you
regulations.
want to change your policy.
So I got a motion to allow her to
Motion
do her
or
thing.
anyone second, I'll second that. We're all in favor, we'll allow you to, and you'll have to make arrangements to visit with people at a different
Okay.
schedule.
Sure, no problem.
Probably for the highway workers, each individual location district.
Yeah, no problem. And we have online enrollments, we have everything. We also have
Okay.
phone apps, we have.
They can come here and use this room and have different offices come down at different times.
So should I just call you, like?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I
Find out
appreciate
when
that.
it's available.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Look forward to working with you.
Anyone here from Springer? That's all I have.
Yeah, they will be at the insurance meeting, but
I'm gonna open this, and Marvin, I'm gonna hand it to you. And I'm gonna entertain a motion to table until we have an opportunity to.
I will make that motion, table that till next meeting.
Is Springer the only one we received then?
yes.
That's all I was doing.
Is that on health?
Yes.
when you have the insurance meeting, there's a question I'd like for you to ask them. And that is when, under the county's health insurance plan, when we have blood drawn, we have it drawn here locally, then it's shipped out to Lab 1 for analysis. And I'm just asking from a curiosity standpoint, why doesn't our own lab do it? Or do they not do that kind of testing?
I don't know.
I just had a blood test last week or so. Normally had it done in Dr. Dupree's office. And they said that they'd had a problem before of some sort. So now that the county wanted me to use Lab 1.
Oh, well, that happened to me. They want to ship it off to Lab
Right.
1. And I was talking to the lady, Stevie Ridgway, the phlebotomist there in Dupree's office. She said, yeah, we don't understand why we just don't do it here local.
Right.
And I just wonder if the local hospital didn't get enough of a break on price or
I think
what
at
the
one
issue.
time it was a better price.
I think also a couple.
If you use Lab 1, it doesn't cost you anything, but if you get it done at the doctor's office or somewhere else, you have to pay so much.
So Lab 1 doesn't cost us
No.
what they do. That price is hard to beat.
That is.
I just wondered if
A bit slower.
yeah, I can figure it out.
Does anyone in the audience have any old business as you came? Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to, 2 points. First one, I'd like to address to Benji and Luke. There was a County Road 850 South done last year. The road itself is terrific. The guys did a good job on it. I'd like to know why the gravel hasn't been delivered.
We'll get that.
I've been told. That's all I keep hearing. We will get it done. Is there any kind of a date
No.
in spring,
When
summer?
we get done taking care of the spring fires.
The what?
What is she referring to? Benji?
Shoulder stone.
Finishing the shoulders
Shoulder stone.
along the road before they wash away, before they get nasty. Put the gravel alongside the nice blacktop road.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say April.
Oh, okay. Well, I just, the roads were done last year and
Yeah,
now
I know.
And did
I
you
just
check
wondered
with
if
Stevie
you
before
forgot
before
about
they-
the
No,
roads.
I haven't. I need to check with the foreman who is
Okay.
super good, so.
Okay. All I wondered,
And
if
he's
you
got
forgot
a
about
real,
the road and,
he's got a
I've heard-
real neat way of doing that, so.
I'd heard about other roads that have been talked about and scheduled and up here in
We're gonna get
the
it.
northern part of the county, and I thought maybe they were being scheduled, and
No, I haven't forgot about it.
I thought the rest of the roads down there in the south end were being forgotten about as usual.
I've been careful not to dump too much on Steve because he's
Same
kinda,
thing.
he sees everything that needs to be done and he's kinda stressing about it. Giving him a little bit at a time because he gives himself a lot to do, so.
Okay,
Steve's really, really good.
all right, now second point, Luke, you weren't there the first time this came around because Tim wrote this up with Bowles. But you were there and after that, so you may have heard the little details about it. And if you were, that you two weren't there, but if you do. When Tim wrote that infamous agreement with the mine company to the agreement in November and December about about money and road closure and all that. And then that's how the money started pouring out into the rest of the county. There's one paragraph in there pertaining to utilities. And the mine, and I will say, may be, which is in parentheses, may be required to put utilities back in Jefferson Township. So I take it you mean they may be and they may not be. 25%, and that's what it states. 25% of the utilities that they take out down there. So they could put, and they could not put 25% of the utilities back down there. So what I want to know is, in the meantime, where's that other 75% of that utility money going? What's the name of that fund? And where has that money been going for these years?
There is a county fund set up. I don't think we've spent any money out of it. But there are monies there.
How many payments have been made into it?
That I don't know.
I think there's more than
There
one.
has to have been since that agreement was created.
4 payments?
I'm sure 4 have been.
I can't tell you how much money's in the fund. It seems like it's around $112,000 when I checked last.
At one meeting, their attorney made the comment, he said, we're getting quite a bit of money in that fund. And Tim just kind of, and then he kind of slowed it down. He said, well, now would be a good time to put some water into the Duggar apartments, which have never existed. Talking about Duggar, the utility water line up to some apartments that have never existed. And that's when Ed Powell kind of slowed it down and sat down, and they both, because nobody knew in the room what they were talking about, because they didn't realize that money from down there was going into a fund, and that's what Ed Powell was talking about. That fund was growing. That utility fund.
It's just the utility account.
The utility fund.
Paid separate. That
Separate
check
from
comes
the
separate.
road fund.
There's money in it.
Yes,
Diane
that's
says
what I
there's-
want to know.
There's about $125,000 in it.
What is the name of that fund? Where has it gone? If it's been spent?
It isn't.
I don't
And,
think
There's never
it's,
been anything spent out of it.
Duggar had tried to get it, but they didn't make strong enough case for it.
Yeah.
And the board backed
Brenda,
off.
can you get those figures and the name of the account that
Yeah.
money's in and have it for the
Because,
next meeting?
yeah.
There's, where they buy that land, there's no one going to be back down there. There's no reason for them to put utilities back down there because they
Right.
own that land.
Right.
And they have the word maybe put utilities back down there, and they are not going to put utilities back down there.
But they have given us the availability to do that if that
And it'll
comes.
all go back north. Will not go back down to Jefferson Township. Because they own the land, and there's no reason to put utilities back on land that they own.
But they won't own all of it.
They didn't when you were president before. That land, they owned it then and until today. They didn't do anything with it except put a crappy blacktop road between 750.
You're right. We're gonna move on now.
I just wondered where that money was and if it has been spent.
No, it's still here.
Fred?
You sort of caught me off guard here because all I was supposed to do was be here to support. We were asked, CFS Computers was asked to give a competitive bid for the auditor's office and the treasurer's office to house the Lau Associates software, that be the property tax software and the financial software. We were bidding against a company called the AIM Group, and I got a hold of Lau. They sent me the requirements. The requirements for their hardware, server hardware, is a Xeon 2.8 gigahertz or higher processor, 2 drives with RAID 1 configuration. I know this probably doesn't mean anything to you guys. They wanted a minimum of 10,000 RPM hard drives, Windows 2008 or above, server edition. The big thing that Lau told me on the phone and then also sent me this is that Lau Associates software applications are high-level applications must be run on a dedicated server. Okay? The AIM Corporation, I think, have you guys got a copy of the AIM quote?
Yeah.
They quoted out a 1.9 gigahertz machine, which is lower than what they wanted. They quoted out one machine to house both softwares on, both the property tax software and the financial software. When I talked to Lau, a gentleman named Chris, and Chris Guy, Kreskai, he said, no, we don't want a single server, even though they've got it configured with VMware on it, we want it to have 2 servers. So I had submitted a quote or specs to Lau, and the one that I submitted originally had what they call SATA drives, which are slower drives than what Lau had wanted. I re-quoted it, or put down here in the notes in the bottom corner, to upgrade the hard drives from 7,200 RPM drives to 15,000 RPM drives, would be additional $785 per machine.
Okay.
The
Just
prices
a minute.
you're seeing.
Have we got any other quotes coming on the same equipment that he's talking about? I don't,
Just what AME gave us.
okay, all right. Well,
That's what theirs is. Theirs is a quote. This says quote there.
I just don't want to get in a similar situation. We have the elevator and the guy shows his cards and then they'll try to deal
Well,
with
the
you.
price you're seeing on our quote, that is per machine. Okay, so it's $3573.80 for the low-end machine, $3573.80 plus $785 for the higher level machine. So I don't have a calculator in my head, so.
And this is their per machine cost?
They're only specking out one machine. They're saying they can put everything on
Yeah, they
one.
want to do
They want one
just one
server and
machine, and Lau
split it.
doesn't want us to.
Lao said no,
And we
they
have
don't
way
want
too
that.
much trouble for that.
I have a lot of trouble
In
now.
the situations of that is, if,
Would every computer in your office have to be updated with that? Or
No.
would-
no, these are just the server. But we run 2 different softwares, as you know. We run the tax software, which has a lot of data, and the financial software. And what we run into, we have 2 now. And what saved us is that we can bring the data over into the other system temporarily if a motherboard or a hard drive or something goes out, and that's why they want us to have 2.
Right
What
now,
I've been
the one
told
we
right
have
now,
is
Luke,
ready
is
to
that
go.
the machines that they're currently running on, they're old HPs. My guess is they're at least 5, if not 6 years old, from the looks of them. And everybody's afraid that they're gonna go down completely.
Yeah.
I guess they've had some major issues in the last 12 months over them. For the hard drives, I think one set of hard drives went out, and other times another board went out.
We're liable to
They
lose our
said that
data.
they're ready to crash, and if they do, we'll lose.
How
Our
long
tapes
do they
aren't
back?
backing up good and.
Do they back their stuff up every day?
We do. And right now.
However, the issue you got on the backups is that they don't work here. Am I right?
Right.
I mean, they've had backup tapes and tried to, I think, send them to Lau to get them recovered, and they couldn't recover anything off of it.
When I come in the morning to change the tapes, I can't get the tape out of financial.
It's just.
I have to just keep working and working and working until finally I'll get it out, but
At this point, we're not sure.
So
we
is
don't know
this,
if they're any good then.
I guess basically what I'm wanting to know is this is an apples to apples comparison though, or what's the difference?
It's supposed to be, but on ours, you're gonna have to go by 2, because they want 2 systems. Lau recommends 2 systems. On AIM, they say no, just 1 system will do you.
Are
They
you-
didn't talk to
are you
our
sig-
software company.
But this quote does not include the upgrade, the 7.5
Right, you have to add 780,
times 2.
yeah, plus,
We're still saving about $1,000.
Okay, let's go through it real quick. You got 3573.80.
If we switch.
Add that. 3573.80 plus 785 times 2.
Yeah, we're still.
You're
about
still the
1,000.
same price. Okay.
No, we're still saving, we saved $1,000 by switching to you.
Okay.
Plus we have we have the,
State-of-the-art stuff.
well, we have Fred locally. So
Well,
when we have problems, we have Fred, he's here, and he's here
There's their
with our
price.
maintenance program right now that we have.
That's his aggregate price.
We call them, and it's guaranteed for the hour wait before they even answer our call, and sometimes I have to call somebody else to get it fixed. We've even called Fred, because we're dead in the water.
But we won't be in breach of any of our other agreements with AFP.
No, they still have our other computers.
No, see, they just come in, this is their quote for now. They just came in last week.
Okay.
This is a new quote that they're giving us, that they're wanting us to sign. And
So I think that,
I say let's go with CFS and not spend more than $8,800 with them and get better equipment.
Abe knows that we were upset with them.
Have you got the money, Brenda?
we have to go to council.
We'd have to go to council.
We need your approval so we can go to council.
I'll entertain a motion to accept the quote on new computers for the auditor's office.
Just, not computers,
Software.
Okay.
Well,
No, it's servers.
Servers, yeah.
It is hardware.
Okay, I make a motion for not to exceed $8,800 for CFS
That's on the hardware.
on the hardware.
I second that.
All in favor?
And you're sending this to the council?
To the Brenda, you're going to take it, is that correct? Okay. Is there anyone else with new business before we get to it? I saw you sitting back there and figured you were here for a minute.
Yeah, we had 197 ambulance runs in the month of January. And this is from our billing service. Break it down to the charges and the payments. And this is from the auditor's office. We brought in $59,848.88. Our expenditures were $50,578.77. This leaves us a positive cash balance of $9,270.
Since you're here, and everybody else is here, I talked to Jeff about that ambulance that we had, and he says it's not worth fixing to that. He said he can get us a used ambulance for $15,000 for the same money if we had in fixing that up.
So what's our option then, Kenny?
Well, that ambulance, the motor blew up in it.
Right.
And I think we should just get out of it while we can.
He says that the salvage value would be around $2,500, he thought.
Is there any equipment that you can take out of it?
No, we're doing nothing. We get anything out of it. We've got everything out of ours. Matter of fact, Jeff Leacock, his power board's in it, so he'll want that back before we scrap it. See, let's borrow it. We did it one day one time.
Are you needing another ambulance, or is that basically?
I think we're okay with 3 myself. I think, money the way it is, and I think we're doing okay with our call teams and everything, I think.
What's a long-term
Long-term plan?
with the ambulance?
I'll probably come to you in 2 years, trying to get another one maybe.
He said by the time we fix it up, he said we'd have far more money than what it's worth. He said, if we were losing money as a result of not having it, it might pay to do it, but.
John, do we need to advertise for bids on that ambulance, or can we take it to a local scrap yard?
Scrap. If you declare it to be, not fit, sold as an ambulance, you can make a motion to sell it for scrap.
If we do that, then it has to be scrapped, is that what you're saying? whoever buys it. would have
Or
to-
if you wanted to sell it as an ambulance, just advertise it, you could take bids for it. If you want to sell it as an ambulance vehicle.
I make a motion, we take bids on it, see if we can do any good that way.
There's a motion, second, you all in favor of that?
Just advertise the name on it, to be inspected. Yeah.
We've got two pretty well new ambulances anyway. I mean, if we're gonna do it, don't foresee any maintenance issues for,
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, anybody else with new business? Anyone else have anything they need?
One thing that we talked about a couple meetings ago, remember that gal that come in and was wanting to try and get some of that federal money back on those cases? I think we need, I was talking to somebody from Martin County, and Martin County is a teeny tiny county, they got $23,000 back from that gal.
Yeah, the prosecutor and the clerk are doing it. It's the problem with the judges. And when we talk about the judges doing it, it's just PJ really does it. Bob does the work.
But I mean, if she do all
We
the
had to
work,
get them to sign the judge.
She's got to get them to agree to do it. Because we got to keep like a shop for a couple of weeks. PJ handles the majority of those, although Bob Springer does have the key. But it's just getting people to do it.
And has she talked to PJ?
I don't know.
and I'd really like,
Nobody said more than me whether they.
Would you
have or
care to
haven't.
contact him and see what his?
Yeah, I've got all the information.
because Martin County, $23,000, we're probably double the size of Martin County, I think.
Like on some of the figures she did, the prosecutors and the clerk's office, some months, some years it's been fairly money.
Right, and that just go back in our general
And
fund.
that's just 2/3 the units, not the court.
Martin, did you have anything? Did you have anything else?
Just that, I heard that and I couldn't believe it.
Anyone else has anything? I'm going to entertain a motion to close.
I'll make that motion.
Second.